Yeah! We got a very, very special stream today. Start of a new series. I'm calling it Early Game Interviews. Basically, I'm going to be interviewing other small streamers by a small streamer, asking them about their experience as streamers, their takes on games, the Twitch community, and just about their life in general, all while playing the most universally loved game in this damn world, and that's Minecraft. Who doesn't love watching some Minecraft, huh? And then afterwards, we'll actually play a game together, like how we're playing Peak after this with this very special guest, a Twitch streamer turned professional Pokemon card pack opener, a guy who I know plays Pokemon, Dota 2, and much, much more games. One of my first followers, my first subscriber, and a great chatter overall, and a friend of mine through the Twitch community. Keep it 50. What up?
How's it going, man? What up? What up? What up? How are we?
I'm doing well, man. How are you feeling right now?
Dude, I'm feeling great. Thank you so much for having me on. I appreciate it.
Dude, thanks for being here on the very first test run of the whole thing.
Yeah, of course, of course. Time to iron it out, test out all the kinks.
Definitely. Definitely going to be some ironing to be done. But yeah, chat, as you can see here, we're going to be just playing some Minecraft. We got Minecraft on screen. I got a whole new scene for this. So you kind of see the drip I put on the stream here. But basically, I'm just going to be asking 50 some questions, talk about his life. Sure. Very interesting guy. Much to learn, much to hear.
I love that you think that, man. There's just not much that goes on in this head, It's crazy that you think it's interesting.
Okay. So describe yourself as a person. Like, if you were to say, like, you're going to walk up to someone you've never met before, and you had to say in like a couple sentences, like, how you operate as a person and how they should expect to interact with you, like, what would you say?
I'd say I'm a pretty lighthearted person, Like, I don't like to take things too seriously, At the end of the day, there's not much that matters besides keeping your wits about yourself. So, like, as long as everyone has fun doing that, that's kind of my whole vibe that I try to bring,
Okay. Yeah, I feel like I've kind of picked that up from you. Yeah.
Yeah. There's not really a line, I guess, with me until you cross it. I guess, like, there's nothing that's off the table until the situation presents itself, and it's like, okay, hey, that's off the table,
Yeah.
But
very open.
Yeah. In my life, like, I like to, there's boundaries. They deserve to be pushed. You should try going for different things and never settle too. Like, it's always fun to want more, and I don't think there's anything wrong with that.
Okay. You have like an example of that, like something that you've done that you kind of attribute to you being so open to try new things that you've done?
Besides the job that I do now, there's a lot, this is my third time in my adult life moving down to Miami, where I live at now.
Sure.
And all the previous times, if you want to call it, you can call it that, but I failed, like, so to speak. I did not succeed in my endeavors that I set out to do while I was down here. So, coming down here for a third time was definitely taking a big swing. It wasn't something that I was really thrilled or excited to do. So, but you took a chance. Take another chance. It's another area. It's a better area to take bigger chances.
Right, dude. That's like a very like admirable. Like, people always say, like, oh, trying new things is hard. Trying something new that you've already failed in like a similar vein is like probably the hardest thing you could do as a person. But it's also like obviously one of the most important things you could do, as you said. Like, it's working out now for you. So
yeah,
goes to show how important that is.
Believe it or not, the first time I moved down here, it was to try and open up sports cards instead of Pokemon cards. And I did it for a company. Unfortunately, I had a pretty rough boss who wasn't super easy on me. But so to speak, I ended up failing and wasn't successful in the business. So I ended up having to move out. It was too expensive for me to live down here. Lost the job, wasn't successful with it, and it took a lot for me to leave my previous job that was a little bit more secure with a, so to speak, better title, more I'll call it a socially acceptable title.
Sure.
Um, you know, I left that to do another job that I knew it was going to be uncertain to open up parts again. Like that was a really big jump.
Right, right. Yeah. I try to tell someone you're a Twitch streamer.
Yeah, what do you mean? You stream and people pay for that? It's like
People watch you.
yeah. No, what do you bring? What do you have that ninja guy doesn't? And it's like, thanks, Gramps. I appreciate you, man. Thanks for having that trust in me, you know?
Yeah, or you're like trying to like. I mean, I work like an office job, and I think like I haven't really talked about it at work, and like trying to explain that to some of my coworkers, it would not.
But yeah, it is what it is though. I mean, some people don't understand. I think here's where I have a pretty good opinion on this. I was a growing up, I had the admiration, the dream of becoming the late night talk show host.
Oh.
Like I wanted it to be the late night host with Keep It 50, so to speak. And I wanted to be interviewing The Rock and talking to people more like what you're doing right now. I wanted to be the voice of people and ask the questions and entertain the masses. Like I always known that my job will be in entertainment.
Sure. Yeah.
I love to entertain. And I think becoming a streamer in today's society is the equivalent now. Like you see it. I forget his name. Was it Conan had to cancel his late night
Oh yeah.
host? Yeah, like they're dying, bro. They're dying.
Yeah.
And I think, the modern day replacement is Twitch. It's Whatnot. It's, like, in my opinion, Whatnot, which is the live purchasing version of Twitch, is the modern equivalent of QVC. Like,
Sure.
you were able to turn on your TV and watch someone sell something that you had an interest in. Like, I don't think it's much different than that,
Right. Yeah. And that's interesting you say that because I mean, I'm in marketing. I know a lot about like consumer trends. The big consumer trend, like when it comes to media and entertainment, is
live purchasing,
is live and just being organic in general. It doesn't get more organic than a live human being, than fucking IShowSpeed running around the world, just acting.
That is true.
You can,
yeah,
like fully live.
That's true.
Yeah. Okay. So you're a very open person. You're kind of an entertainer. Do you think that when you pick video games or you play video games, do you think you're kind of like your personality kind of translates? Like, do you like playing with other people? Do you think you're kind of open to playing any game? Like, how do you think that might translate?
No, I think this is where games translate a little differently in my life too.
Okay.
I used to play a ton of sports, and I still love to be active and go out and do things. I just am not able to as much as I used to, and as much as I like to. I work graveyard shift. My time off is when everybody else sleeps. There's no one to go hit up the volleyball courts and play a 2-on-2 with, So a lot of the time that I play games, I'm playing it to flex my competitive muscle a little bit. I play a lot of competitive games. I like to win, and I like to win knowing that I beat you, like yeah, I mean, but I like to lose like that. Like I like to lose in a game that there's not much RNG. Like when I lose, I like to know I lost, I don't like to be like, damn, he beat me because he got lucky.
Right.
And that's where Dota came in big time for that.
Okay.
For sure.
Talk about your Dota gameplay and your career. How long have you been playing, and how good would you say you are?
0 to 10, I'm probably a 0.2. Like I want that to be out there. I'm horrible at the game.
Okay. Right.
With that being said, anyone that picks up the game like today for the first time, you'll be 2,000 times better then. It's a ridiculous learning curve with an infinite well of obtainable knowledge that you just can't get because it updates every patch. And how much time do you want to dedicate to a game that you're already not good at, So I sit there, I play my game, I try my hardest. It's a 5-on-5 team game. And I play a role where it's easy to support my team and help them win. But it is also easy for me to be a little bit more vulnerable, die a lot, and be the reason we lose.
Right.
So I like that game. I like that game. You know, to know that a lot rests on my shoulders is a lot of fun.
Right. And have you like kind of tried some other competitive-ish games, or have you always been Dota 2?
Oh no, I definitely was a Rocket League player at first. That was my go-to game, my go-to competitive game. And I played that throughout middle school, high school. I loved Rocket League. It wasn't until recently that I stopped playing it.
Okay, what happened? What happened? Where'd you lose the love?
It probably came somewhere along the way of teaming up with Epic and going free to play. I think there was a big influx of people, and once you took out trading of your cosmetics and another thing that you could like work towards, the only thing that I was working towards was a higher XP level, rather than a rank or anything, because I had topped out. I was never going to get better than I was, you know. Um, and I had no interest in getting better than I was. So if I can't grind cosmetics and the only thing I'm doing is watching this XP number get higher, I lost any interest in the competitiveness of the game.
Okay, that's fair. Okay, so you've been playing competitive games though for a while.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so my next question is to kind of like tell your life story through video games. Go through your life and explain like kind of what you were playing at what age, and how to translate it to what was going on.
Well, here's where I think, you know, the universe is like beautiful in this regard. Like throughout all of the games and every single competitive game that I love to play, every co-op game I'd love to sit and play with my friends. I'm talking, you know, it started off playing Call of Duty Zombies in my older cousin's basement when I was in like second grade, you know, and like loving video games and finding out what it was, you know, like that was where it all started. And then from there, I played the Madden games because I was a big football guy. But throughout all of it, bro, every single time a new one came out, the first thing I would play is booting up Pokemon. It didn't matter, regardless, bro. It was always Pokemon.
Always Pokemon.
I've been a die-hard Pokemon fan since before I could read. I was playing Pokemon Yellow. The first game I understood was Pokemon Pearl. And dude, I love it, man. Oh my goodness. There's nothing better than Pokemon.
Okay. So going off of that, what's like the Pokemon power ranking? You don't have to give me the best of all time. Maybe give me your like top 3 and maybe throw like a spin-off game in there.
Ooh, throw in a spin-off game in there too. That's important because there's a deep bag I got here on the spin-off games.
Okay.
But if I'm gonna go, Platinum's up there, and Black or White. You could take your pick. Would probably be in my top 3 for sure. And you know that 2.5D with Black and White was just beautiful. Pokemon Platinum was like the first full complete Pokemon game, physical special split, beautiful area. The fucking region was amazing. Oh man, everything was perfect about Platinum except the XP curve and no fire types. And then I'm gonna go for a spinoff. I'm not just gonna say Pokemon Rangers. I'm gonna say Pokemon Rangers Guardian Signs specifically.
Okay.
Specifically Guardian Signs. Because that one, I mean, I don't know where you were as a 10, 11, 12-year-old kid, but when you pulled out your DS and you hit the boom, 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 boom with your stylus, lightning bolt comes down, thunder from the clouds, Raikou, summon you, like, oh my, yo, turn me to 11, dog. That was it. That was the peak human experience right there.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
No hyper moment than like before the age of 15 than that moment right there.
That one right there. Yeah, that one right there. I'm going to throw an honorable mention to Pokemon Conquest too. Not many people played that one. That was a grid-based, like turn-based Pokemon game. It was really, really fun. You had to like conquer other regions with your army, with your Pokemon army. It was really, really fun.
It sounds a bit like Pokemon Auto Chess.
It is very similar in certain regards. Yeah, very, very similar. I think some of the inspiration to that Pokemon Auto Chess game came from that.
Sure. So, other than Pokemon Auto Chess, because I know you're playing that, what games do you kind of still play today? Which ones are you coming back to?
So for the Pokemon games that I played today, to flex that competitive muscle, definitely playing a little bit of Showdown still, which I'm really, really excited for the new Champions game to come out. Which, hey, by the way, we might have to run a Pokemon Showdown random battle. We might have to.
We should definitely run a Pokemon Showdown random battle.
I'm game for a couple. Yeah, we'll have a good set.
Yeah.
And then besides that, I'm trying to think. I still boot up from time to time. I'll play Scarlet and Violet.
Okay.
I'm excited for my Switch 2 that I'm eventually gonna get. I don't have one yet, but eventually I'll get one.
Eventually.
Definitely when ZA comes out, I'll be getting a new one.
Okay, yeah. All right, so now that you've kind of established how, Pokemon has been a part of your life since as long as you can remember, what are you doing right now? Describe what your professional job is.
I wake up and I open Pokemon cards for work. That's my job. I go to work and people purchase on a live streaming platform cards from me that are either ripped or shipped. It's called a rip and ship. On whatnot. And it's really, really fun. We go live every night, we hang out, we open cards. A lot of the time, you see people have auctions and different things like that. Most of my platform is done in a buy it now format, so it's all listed at a listed price where you don't really have to compete for any type of product. But then also I'm no stranger, and everyone's got to be aware. There's a lot of people that like to win too. They like to risk a little bit of capital for a chance to win a big thing. So we also can't appeal to that too, with certain randomizers or mystery games and things like that. My most favorite thing to do though, and I will say it, it's always opening cards, man. I love to crack packs, man. I'm a diehard Pokemon fan, dude. There's nothing more fun than seeing the new art. Like, oh man, it's amazing. It's amazing.
Yeah, dude. I mean, I can imagine how fun that is just to do that all the time. And I mean, you got to be just the most fluent person in Pokemon cards as it gets.
Yeah, there's not much that I don't know now. But I will say, the coolest thing about it is I get to open up the newest sets when they come out. And then some of the older stuff that we get in, it appeals to a buyer who wants to open some more vintage, higher risk stuff like that. And I'm just lucky enough and thankful enough that they choose to open their stuff with me, because there's many different places you can source those cards and those packs. It's tough to come by, and you are going to pay an expense for it, a large expense for it. But when we source it, we're getting it from vendors, we're getting it at collecticons, we're getting it at conventions, or we're getting it from distributors. There's many different places that we can go to get it. And when you want the satisfaction of opening your pack right then and there, when you want to make that purchase and get gratified immediately, you can do that with us. You can also take your pack sealed and we can send it to you. And you're going to have a guarantee, of, hey, listen, that pack is going to be up to our standards. It's going to be a legit pack. And if anything goes wrong within the terms of shipping or anything like that, you also have our shop guarantee that you get refunded from it, and everything gets paid for. So you always get like credited back to your account and stuff like that, which I really, really like. We do extra steps to make sure that not only are you getting the best stuff, you're getting it in a timely manner, but you're also getting it secured.
Right. Yeah.
Hey, don't fuck up my fox, bro. I'm gonna kill this wolf. It's chasing the fox.
Go ahead, bro. Go ahead.
Yeah.
Okay, so how far back would you say your Pokemon ball knowledge go? Go back all the way to base set?
So, I think if you were to talk to most people who are in the hobby like this, I think there's like gaps in your knowledge,
Okay.
You get really, really heavy concentrated knowledge in the era that you rip the most of. So for me right now, we're in the Scarlet and Violet era. I've never opened more packs than I open up now. So there's probably not many cards I don't know of in this era. You could go back to Sword and Shield, and because that era is still relevant, I know just about every card from the Sword and Shield era as well.
Okay.
And I feel like most people in the hobby would say they do too. You know, Sword and Shield produced some of the most memorable cards in the hobby. I'm talking cards the Moonbreon from Evolving Skies.
Right.
You know that card.
Yeah.
You probably know the Gengar VMAX from Fusion Strike. A very beautiful card where the Gengar's eating up the entire world. It looks awesome.
Right.
And then you could say the Hidden Fate Shiny Charizard. That one comes from Sword and Shield era as well. Very, very cool.
And I feel like that set, or like that, the entirety of Sword and Shield was kind of part of a resurgence of Pokemon cards in general.
Yes, Sword and Shield did catch a massive influx of people into the hobby again. Yes, for sure.
Are you ever selling like older cards, or is it always like the kind of more up to date?
Yes, we try to appeal mainly to modern collectors. There is when I say modern collectors, modern era is probably about the last, I don't know, 4 to 5 blocks of Pokemon. So I'm talking X and Y is probably going to mid-vintage right about now, but Sun and Moon is still considered modern, So as Sun and Moon up, Sun and Moon, Sword and Shield, Scarlet Violet, you could collect all of those and really not bat an eye in our shop. There's tons of stuff for all of those eras. Now you start getting into the more obscure stuff because collecting for Pokemon wasn't what it was, or wasn't what it is now back then. Now going back to Black and White, those packs you see an exponential jump. So like Sword and Shield packs you could find for around, I don't know, 12, 15, 16 bucks, somewhere in that range. Evolving Skies, you're going to end up paying like 27, 30 bucks for a pack of that. They get more expensive. But then you go to Black and White era packs, and those, I mean, you could go to the worst set in Black and White and they'll still be a $70, $80 pack, So it's tougher to come by and it's tougher to get. And then also the person that wants to open that necessarily doesn't want to, the person that wants to purchase that pack doesn't necessarily want to open it either. A lot of that is a collectible, something like, I showed you this earlier, but I can just show the camera right now, like this pack, something that you wouldn't really open.
Now, what pack is that again?
This is a base set, first edition, Japanese pack. So, your base set, Charizard could be in there. It could not be. You never know. But I have that, and I probably will never, ever open it.
You think you'll never open it?
No, I don't think I will, man. I don't think I will. There's a lot of stuff in my collection that I won't ever touch. I just won't open.
Okay. Do you have like a desire to open it, or are you kind of like, or you're pretty stuck in the mindset of, I'm good with this?
When there's a little bit of a desire to open. Obviously, it talks to me like the Green Goblin mask sometimes. Just say rip it all, and I want to, of course. Yeah, I'd love to. Especially some of my older stuff that has like really big chases in it. It's like, dude, what if the $600, $700 cards in there? I would love to do it, but I also know that this hobby, since I've gotten in it to sell cards, it has gone up. It has gone consistently up. It has gone in growth with the cards, with the interest in the market. And I don't expect it to continue a hot streak that it's on right now. Like, this hot streak is insane. Pokemon is on one hell of a ride.
Oh, yeah.
Interest will die down. But it is the largest multimedia franchise in the world, And I know that me right now, I'm looking back at the products they released during Pokemon Diamond and Pearl, and I'm looking at those sets, and I'm saying, oh my goodness, Shelkim, if I could go back and open them again, if you and I could crack a pack of Dragona Majesty and try and pull the Ray Ray or the Cynthia's Garchomp, like something crazy, dude, that'd be awesome. I would do it, but I'm not spending $1,600 on one pack. I can't do it. you know. But what I can do now is buy a lot of the stuff that I think will be interested in, that people will have the interest in, like I have now in Dragona Majesty, like that Fusion Strike set I was talking about earlier. I have the Pokemon Center exclusive Elite Trainer box version of it. That's a that has a premium on it because it's more of a collector's item. Um, so yeah, like stuff like that. I'm gonna hold on to the new set that came out, Destined Rivals. It's the first Team Rocket set that came out since Team Rocket Returns. So that's been 20 years plus. I'm gonna hold on to that. I'm not ripping any of it. I also did pull the biggest card from the set too. I hit the number one chase anyway in my first couple of packs that I opened. So very lucky.
Where is that? Is that the
Team Rocket's Mewtwo. A beautiful, beautiful SIR. Yeah.
my dude? Oh my, that must have even like if you're not the one ripping it, like things like that just gotta feel so good. Or not you're not owning the card, but it still just gotta feel good, man.
It features Giovanni and Mewtwo on the same card. It looks really, really cool. I love the card. Yeah, it was an awesome experience, you know. I actually got to do that. I pulled that for myself on my stream actually. So from time to time, I will go into my own shop. I'm a collector, bro. I love the hobby. I love to open packs as much as I love to keep stuff sealed.
Yeah.
I went in there and I bought myself a couple of packs in my shop and I was like, all right, let me just rip with my chat. And I ended up pulling, which was huge. You know, it was really, really cool. And it made me feel even better because not even, I think 20 packs later, someone came in and pulled the Team Rocket's Moltres, which is another beautiful SIR.
Oh, cool, dude.
Oh my goodness, bro. It was so awesome, man. So awesome. And we have a couple of like regulars. So you'll have someone that comes in for a couple of weeks in a row chasing the same card, or they'll come in from, you know, 1 month to the next with a different budget and spend it all in one night. There's one guy that comes in my stream. He doesn't come in any other day besides once a month. And he spends, you know, his entire monthly budget in one night just to put on a show for everybody. And it's awesome, bro. Like, you know, when you can, like, dude, that's awesome. He spends $2,000, opens some of the most obscure stuff that, like, most people in my stream would love to watch being open, let alone get it purchased for themselves, you know? And so just being around and in that community and seeing, like, people get to share the thrill of that, the chase, the hobby, the hype. I mean, we have a really, really awesome community, and I have to give all my credit to my community because I do not. I've had jobs that I've never wanted to go to work, and this could never be that. You know, like my community. I'm streaming, bro. You know what it is to stream. You could have trolls in here that derail your stream and make it all about them just as easily as you could have a really nice guy and someone who comes in and checks in on you and keeps the energy flowing and keeps other people in the chat entertained. And luckily, I have about 99% of the person that's always entertaining, of the person that wants to check in on the rest of the community. There's one troll to every 50 to 90 great people I have in there. Like, it's awesome. I have a great community.
Dude, that's awesome, man. And I feel like the system that, you know, streaming, opening, or setting out Pokemon card packs almost filters out the kind of scalpers or the people that are in Pokemon cards for the wrong reason. Don't care about the cards. Care about making money. So I feel like the system you have like filters that out.
Yeah. I mean, you don't stumble upon whatnot. You don't go to whatnot unless you know what you're looking for, you know? And that's good. And that's good and bad, you know? As a business, it's bad because you want better discoverability. You want more people coming into the app. But it's also a good thing as to where, I mean, dude, the amount of people that are just scrolling through TikTok, you know, and end up coming across a live stream and they see someone on that live stream or see something that they don't like and they want to call out and they want to make fun of. They'll just go into the live stream and they'll just do it.
Yeah.
That doesn't happen to me. You know, that doesn't happen. There's one time that happens, it's a click and a bump away and they're gone and they're out of my stream. I don't worry about that. Right. Another good thing is, you know, I'm in control of that stream. It's my job. It's my, you know, so I don't have to really justify a whole lot of, you know, hey, if someone's trolling or someone's dancing on that line, you get like a one strike warning. I'll let you know. And then, hey, after that, man, like, dude, I'm not going to come to your place of business and try and make jokes with you and troll you while you're trying to do your job. If you tell me to come through and you tell me to keep you entertained, yeah, I'll sit there and I'll crack jokes with you. But when I tell you, hey, you're pushing it and you push it, like, we're going to keep this place, we're going to keep this a vibe, good, like good vibe environment for everybody else. It doesn't matter how much you want to take over, bro. It's going to be good for everybody.
Definitely, bro. And I feel like that is like a skill in itself, of like being able to moderate the chat while also being the one running the whole show and making sure everyone's having a good time, wanting to watch people open Pokemon card packs or even spend money themselves.
Yeah, it is a skill. It's definitely something I haven't mastered, dude. Like I may be a professional in title, but I'm definitely not a professional in practice, you know?
Yeah.
There's a lot that I have to learn. And dude, I get rattled just like everyone gets rattled. I get bothered. I have bad days, I have good days. And it's just always about maintaining that consistent even. Like, as long as I can keep the balance and remember like every good day deserves a bad day, it's always going to be even. And I can't stress about everything else day by day. Like, because if I did that, man, last week I would have quit because I had a horrible day.
Right. Yeah.
Someone trolled me, and then my numbers were bad, and I sat there for 7 hours, and I sold 25 packs. It was a bad stream. I did nothing and sat around and wasted time, but then 2 weeks later, the guy comes through and he spends his entire monthly allowance on a bunch of Pokemon cards with me, and we open it up and we have a great stream and everyone's entertained, and I pull an awesome card and it makes me feel great. And it's like, damn, yeah, this is what it's all about.
Dude, yeah, that's a great mindset. And I'm going to take that advice myself. I mean, for me, it ain't easy. You get fluctuations. That's just how the internet goes. And yeah, I mean, that's a great mindset to have to, really get through and pursue the thing that you really do love doing in the long run. I understand how sometimes it can be hard.
Yeah, it definitely can be. It definitely can be hard. I think it's tough. You set yourself up for a tough act to follow, man, with that cart block. I was really, really enjoying that.
I appreciate that, bro. I gotta get back on that. I'm getting a little fridge after the weekend.
Nah, I understand the necessity for a long break. That was a tough battle, tough few battles there.
Okay, so you have, you're building the skill of managing the chat, being that kind of moderator. What other skills do you think it kind of takes to do what you do? Like, does it take general knowledge of Pokemon? Does it take, some other like hard skill? Like what hard and soft skills do you have that really?
No, I mean, I think as far as like the soft skill, you can have a decent knowledge on Pokemon. You can have a general idea, but you don't need to know every Pokemon. Like, dude, the best thing about it is, hey, their names are on the card. Like, hey, man, as long as you have the basic understanding of how to pronounce things, then you can do okay.
Yeah, at the end of the day, it is semi-targeted towards children.
Yeah, of course. Now, the hardest thing that I had to overcome is when I first started coming back to it, I studied the most recent set that came out, and we didn't just open the most recent set. Obviously we opened up some other things. So there were some cards that I was unfamiliar with, and I would open one up, and dude, I would freak out. Like, oh my goodness, what an awesome card. Well, hey, that's a $5 card, and you're stopping your stream and you're popping off and you're hitting the crazy music and the sirens and the lights and like, it's like, all right, yeah, that you're gonna learn. You're gonna learn that with time on the job, though. You're gonna figure that one out.
100%.
You have to have passion about it. Like, dude, without me having that moment, I like you can go onto my YouTube account right now. My entire YouTube recommended feed is breakdowns of sets, the current market value of Pokemon cards. Like, dude, I love the hobby. It's all that I talk about, live about, breathe about. Like, really, it is. So, that helps. That passion, that wanting to know more about it. But dude, other than that, if you can be entertaining, I mean, that is another hard part. Not everyone can go live. You and I have seen it. You can feel it when you have a good stream, when you have a bad stream, and there's people that don't have good streams.
Yeah.
You can go into a streamer's stream and just realize, like, hey, as much as they may want to grow, they're doing nothing to help themselves grow, and it's a bad stream. And it's okay to admit that. I think you have to be a good streamer. You have to be a good streamer. That means multitasking, staying entertaining. Like, I'm live for 7 hours. I told you I get every 2 hours, I get a 5-minute break that I give myself. Realistically, I don't even have to take that. I can continue to stay live. And not only am I doing that for 7 hours, I'm staying positive. Everyone that hits anything is the biggest and the most amazing thing that they've hit. That's the thing, Shellkip. Like, people will come into my stream and they'll tell me about packs that they didn't purchase with me or they got from somewhere else, and a completely random and 2 week ago event, and something that happened to their buddy and their friend, and they pulled this, and it's like, I have to then stop what I'm doing. And, oh, yo, that's awesome. Let's go. Like,
Right.
you know, and there's only so much energy that I can give to everybody, you know, and when someone becomes a buyer and they have an expectation for me to always bring that energy every single day, they come into my stream and I hit something for them and I don't give them that reaction. They think, you know, that either something's wrong with them or, you know, there's an issue or, which is never the case. You know, I'm just not allowed to have, mentally, I'm not allowed to have bad days on the live stream. That's not something that, and sometimes I do let it show more than I should, you know?
Right.
But I shouldn't. I should be better about that.
So, okay. So that takes me kind of to something else I want to talk about. And that's, you were once a Twitch streamer. In my head, you're still a Twitch streamer. I hope you go again soon. But, you know, how did you kind of translate between the two? Like you said, it just the scale of just simply being live and entertaining, of course, having that, you know, passion for entertaining people as you wanted to be a talk show host when you were a kid. But how did that kind of translate? Like, did you even like that a thing you like bring up in the job interview? Like, I've done this. I know how to do this.
Yeah, it definitely was. I mean, I don't think that my stint on Twitch was a failure. Was it maybe more disappointing? Yeah, but it was definitely not a failure. I grew a community. I had a nice Discord. I had a lot of people that like to see me live. I had a good amount of viewers. I was affiliated very easily and early, you know. I had subscribers, and I think the thing that I brought from Twitch streaming was building that community, being able to build a community. And one thing I've always prided myself on since I've started streaming on Twitch or on whatnot is I will do my absolute best to give 100% of the truth in everything that I can. Everything that I'm allowed and at liberty to say, like, dude, there's nothing more upsetting than to trust someone that shouldn't be trusted and to watch people trust people that shouldn't be trusted. Like, there's a reason that we're a verified seller on whatnot, you know, like I always go out of my way to use the most transparency possible. And I think if you're honest, you're transparent, and you have a genuine will and want to grow a community, that will attract the same people, you know, the same honest and kind-hearted and like-minded people. I came in there in my first couple of streams, like, I really used it as a place to like make friends on my live streams, dude. Like,
Yeah.
I went live and I played Keep It 50's 100 favorite songs, like my top 100 favorite songs, so you guys could like learn more about me. Then I talked about my favorite Pokemon, and I brought in my Turtwig plushie that I bring everywhere with me. And then I used a shoulder buddy, Remy the Rat, as my co-host because it's one of my favorite movies, you know? And like, dude, I just like to be me. And that is something that I took from Twitch. Being honest, being transparent, and being myself.
Right. Yeah. No, I totally get that. And that's like, honestly, for me, like, you know, most people are like, how do you come home from work and decide to, this is like, honestly, one of the places I feel most myself. I feel like I can just turn the camera on, act like myself. And even though I'm still a very small streamer, like some people, any bad.
I'm someone, bro. Yeah, dude. I'm so happy at the turn that I'll say entertainment is taken. The fact that your everyday Joe can get into entertainment. It's not blocked off. It's not sectionized. It's not I know none of us are going to get a TV contract off of this. Not at least to my knowledge, but
Yeah.
we're still entertaining in our own little way. And I think that's
as low as it gets, honestly.
yeah. And I think genuinely that might be it, dude. Like if you have that bone, that will in your body that says like, yo, you want to entertain somebody, like I don't know, dude. I spend my time that I'm not working on Pokemon thinking about little skits and different jokes to say and different videos to record and different TikTok clips to upload. Like, dude, it consumes me. The entertainment consumes me. I will never want anything more than I want to entertain everybody. And I know it's not possible, but that's my goal. I would love to make everybody laugh.
Right. Yeah. Okay. So going off of that, I know you kind of have like a dream job now. If you could have any job in the world, you could entertain anyone, which I assume is the route you're going to take. Any way for a career, like what would you do?
That's so tough. There's so many ways I'd love to entertain. Is it wrong to say that I would just like to be the triple threat, singer, dancer, actor, like all three? Is that crazy? Like,
No, that's not
the triple, like, I don't think that I could do it in my current state. Like, I definitely could act better than I could dance. And shit, don't ask me to sing, but man, I'd love to.
Yeah, imagine you could.
Yeah, imagine if I could. That would be the dream. I think being able to like put on a complete show like that to me is like cinema. Absolute cinema right there, being able to put on the complete show.
What genre of music would you say?
Ooh, there was a point in time in my life where I thought I could sing. So yeah, there was a minute in there and I was singing. I would call it probably like alternative pop is what I sang.
Okay. Do you have like a comparison, like an artist comparison?
If I had an artist comparison, it would probably be either Malcolm Todd or Jeremy Zucker, somewhere in between those two.
I know the vibe you're kind of talking here.
Yep, I was somewhere in between those two.
Okay, yeah. All right, and so when it comes to Twitch, because obviously it's been a while, what would it take for you to get back on Twitch? Like, other than time, would something about Twitch have to change, or would you just kind of have to find something, or are you kind of just done with Twitch?
No, I hate the idea to say that I'm done with anything. That's another thing that I've learned is I just as easily could have sworn off working in a contracting job and sworn off opening cards altogether after the first time I tried it. Like, it's very important to know not everything is lost. And not everything that's lost is gone or gone is lost. The old verbiage. Like, just because it's gone right now doesn't mean it's lost forever. So, I'd love to say I get back to Twitch. I'd also love an extra 48 hours in my week,
Sure.
My thing was when I was doing Twitch, it was my goal. That was the only thing I was working towards. I was streaming every single day. I saved up and gave myself 10 months to work on streaming for Twitch before I would have to, get a job and work again and try hard and that came and went and I did good and I grew, but it wasn't enough and not enough to what I needed, to take care of life, which unfortunately life got in the way of what I wanted to do, and that's the sad story for most people. I'm just happy that I found my way back to something similar.
Right. Yeah, definitely. I mean, I'm not going to lie. Like, I watch your whatnot, did it a couple times. You seem like you're thriving. Like, you have so much energy. You're so happy. And I know to an extent, some of that is you convincing yourself, not even convincing yourself, having this kind of standard for yourself to be so positive, not only for your own sake, but also for the sake of everyone, which is
Yeah.
very adamant.
Well, thanks, bro. I appreciate that. I really do. I think it's important to know, like, I never want to come off as ingenuine. There will never be a moment that I am more excited on the camera than I am internally. Like, I don't want to be the person who's like, let's go. And it's a $10 card that no one really cares about and you're not even excited. Like, I'm not doing that to the buyer to try and make them think that, oh, I just hit big with this guy. Like, I'm never going to do that. Like, that's not fun for anybody. And just as easily as I do that, I could get called out for it too. And I'm not going to do something like, the hobby where you're making big purchases like that. People are going to be, I don't want to say like on kill, but they're going to say a little bit more vigilant about things, And so I'm going to stay more vigilant about things. I'm watching what I'm saying. I don't want to imply the wrong idea. I don't want to imply the different value. Like, I always want to make sure that you feel like you're winning right. You're not wrong. I'm not going to make you feel like you're winning because, oh, dude, no, that was a great card. What are you talking about? That was a great purchase. Like, no, hey, man, if you buy a $20 pack and you hit nothing, I'm going to say, oh, man, I'm so sorry we didn't hit anything for you. I feel like we got better luck in the next one, But I'm not going to tell you the $2 hollow that you hit was amazing. I'm not going to do that to you. That's no one likes that person, man. Oh, hollow slowpoke! What a hit!
Let's go!
Yeah, that person sucks in my opinion.
What's crazy is I've seen some YouTube videos that are like that. Like when I was first getting like back into Pokemon cards, probably 3-4 years ago, I've seen YouTube videos, people getting hype about every pull, and then I started seeing other YouTube videos where they would like show the values of every pull, and I'm like, oh, this isn't as hype as these people are making it out to be. I'm understanding now, like, what's really going on. And I feel like that, you fully could. Like, you are in full control, too, how to act in a certain way and act like the cards are good. And, keep just spending money just because everything's to be great. But
yeah, everything's a big hit. You always make money on my streams. Like, nah, I think that I've done this now for 11 months. And the reason that, so it's important to know I work for a company that's been doing this for 2 years now, more than 2 years. I've been a streamer there for a little over 11 months, coming up on my first full year. I have the most repeat buyers in the company right now. Actually, I have the highest number of repeat buyers because I think I conduct myself in a way where not only am I staying friendly and I'm staying, personable and honest and transparent, but keeping that same energy of entertainment day over day. And it's like my number one priority in my streams. It's everything to me is entertainment. I will, it's what I want in life more than anything. So like when you come to my streams, I don't necessarily care about making a sale. Like, I know sales are important. That's what my boss pays me to do. That's what I'm there to do, is to make sales. But at the same time, like, I gave up streaming on Twitch. I gave up all my other time, my energy, my effort, because I take the third shift. I'm going to be there and I'm going to entertain. That's my number one priority. The cards are going to be a medium to get people who are interested in the hobby now interested in my stream. And I use the cards as a way to get people to stick around, But it's not, in my mind, maybe it's too much to think this, but in my mind, I don't think most people that show up to my stream are showing up for the cards. I think a lot of the people that are showing up to my streams are showing up for the community, the environment, and the entertainment that not only myself, but everybody in there brings.
That's why I show up.
Heck yeah, baby. I mean, when I have 50 to 60 people in my live stream and there's only 3 to 4 people buying, I think it's fair to say that, like to say that most people are in there just to watch and enjoy the jokes and the packs in the meantime,
Definitely, yeah. Yeah, and I like that, like how you described it. Like you're basically, you're an entertainer first, you're a salesman second, and you're not Vegas, you're not a con man trying to get people to buy just to buy. You really do.
Passionate
about it.
Mm-hmm. And like, And the best thing about it is I'll tell my chat too, like there's winners and there's losers in anything when there's chance, you know. Pokemon cards inherently in themselves are a chance. There's a chance to open it up and get something really, really cool. There's a chance to get something really, really bad. Like, there's a lot of times when I go live and if someone doesn't want to purchase from the buy it now, what I'll do is I'll start a bid. And we sell these spots at like $15. They start off at either $1 or we start them off at $15, depending on the stream we're having. If there's more people in there, we'll let them bid them up. But if not, we'll start it off at $15. And you can end up hitting one pack, or you could end up hitting an ETB, which is, you know, or even more than that. We recently just had up SPCs up there, which were $250 products, you know. So you end up winning for $15 and hitting something like that. You feel very good about it.
Right.
But, you know, it's also important to know as a business, for every one big winner like that, we need 10 losers. It's just the odds, you know, what you have to play. And I never lie to my chat. You can see it all written out. It's all listed for you. Every single spot that has been taken, every single spot that has been filled. You can see the live odds during all of it. Dude, there's nights where I lose. There's nights where I lose. Hey, the big thing comes off of my wheel early. They hit it for $250 and no one else wants to spin on my wheel. Hey, guess what? I lost. You guys beat me tonight. It happens, man. It happens because other nights that we do that thing, people will take the pack after pack after pack and down to the last 10 spins where your odds are really, really high.
Right.
At hitting that big item and it's left up there, people aren't going to be spending $15 anymore. They're going to be spending 20 and 30. And that's where I make my extra money. And I don't, you know, ever, that's transparent as it can get, you know, when you're trying to take something. Vegas is never going to give you the up next odds on the cards and what cards have already come out, you know, like that's the thing. I will show you what has already been hit, what has already been taken off the wheel, you know, but you know, again, someone's always going to have a problem with something. So it's important to realize like what you do isn't who you are, you know?
Yeah. Okay.
People.
Sorry, go on.
No, you go ahead. Go ahead.
I was just gonna ask, man. Like, I mean, you showed me some a little bit. Curious to train him. With the extensive, you know, ball knowledge you have, what are some of your favorite cards, and what are some of your favorite cards that you own?
Okay. So here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna take you over to my card case.
Oh baby.
I'm gonna show it off here on stream, and then I will open them up and after showing them off, I'll open them up and I'll show you some of my favorites that I have.
Oh baby, let's do it.
I'll show you some of my favorites.
Cards are on an unreal collection of cards.
Okay, so above the bed, the Fortress of Dreams, we have my 2 card display cases. These are all my singles. So this is my valuable case. This is all of my SIRs. I have 2 Zapdos from 151. I got a Charizard over there, my Bubble Mew, Tag Team Blastoise Piplup, Rainbow Rare. That is a pristine 10 Iono Belly Bolt from Battle Partners. That is my favorite promo they have ever put out. It's the Eevee Snorlax Tag Team promo. Some of my favorites up at the top row. We have some of my favorite. This is from my favorite set, the Crown Zenith set. It has Raikou, Entei, Suicune right there. Very, very cool triple of the dogs.
Yeah, sick cards there.
Super cool. Here's the chase card of that set, the Giratina V-Star. It's a golden beauty. That is the ETB promo card that comes in the box for that set. Here's a couple more hits. That's one of the other chases in the set, the Mewtwo V-Star. Very, very cool. Then you have the Leafeon and the Glaceon over there as well. Some other pretty cool hits, you know. We got the big 3, the starters, the Stellar Crown starters, Bulbasaur, Squirtle, and then that's a promo Charmander. Some more slabs. We have this over here. This is a Paldean Fates Shiny Gardevoir SIR. Beautiful Gardevoir card.
Very pretty card.
Yep, got some more slabs. That's the Team Rockets Mewtwo we were talking about.
Oh, so
Yeah.
sick.
I'll pull that one out and we'll show it. Huh?
Did you pull most of those?
There's, I think, maybe like 3 or 4 that I bought.
Okay, wow, that's a huge collection.
Yeah. Some pretty cool illustration rares. And then I definitely have like a pretty nice sealed collection behind the PC, which we were talking about a little earlier. We have the Blooming Waters boxes, a couple of different ETBs and stuff like that. All right, let me go ahead and start taking some of these out and I'll show you.
Okay. I wish I had that deep of a bag for my.
See here.
Which
Let's see. Some of my favorites. Okay, so actually, let me take this one out here. 'Cause I did just get this one in the mail.
Which-
I was on Whatnot,
which
and I was supporting a buyer of mine who went live. He wanted to do his own stream, and he likes to purchase with me, so I like to share the love. And I bought one of those Blooming Waters boxes that I just showed off. Now, do you know the chases of Blooming Waters? Or I'm sorry, it's this. The set is called 151. So if that gives you any,
Yes, of course.
all right. Yes, the chase of 151 is Charizard, the Charizard SIR. So what ended up happening is you saw in my collection case over there, the only one I'm missing from the Charizard line is the Charmeleon. And in 151, there's such things as God packs where you can pull an entire evolution line. We did not do that. We didn't pull a God pack, but individually, pack by pack, we ended up hitting the entirety of the Charizard line
Oh,
in one box. Extremely lucky.
that is insanity.
Yeah. So, I mean, they make one big connecting art right here.
Oh, I didn't.
And,
Knew that. I knew they were like similar art styles. I didn't realize that.
Yeah.
They actually connected. Like
They make one big connecting art. It's about $300 worth of cards right there. Wrong.
Be careful.
Yeah, right? Super cool.
Okay. What are some cards that you're looking for? Are you ripping for any certain cards right now?
Ooh, so I have personally, the collection can only get so big, right? The collection can only get so big. I won't extremely publicize this, but my sealed collection has definitely gotten over like that 4-figure mark for sure. Like where I'm like, I got a couple $1,000s worth of sealed stuff where it's like, I don't really want to get too much more. I'm sorry, 5-figure mark, whatever it is. I was like, yeah, I don't really want to get too much more. I can't really keep pouring more into this. Because I just don't have much space. So the more that I rip, it's like more stuff that I have to keep. And until I get a bigger place, I think I can't really expand the collection too much. There are maybe 1 or 2 individual cards that I'll be looking for. If you want to look it up, you can pull it up. The Rayquaza VMAX from Evolving Skies. It is a beautiful card. Oh, dude,
one of my close to buying that card at one point in my life.
One of my last chases that I'd like to get is a Rayquaza VMAX from Evolving Skies. That one, and if I could, I mean, just to say that I have a Moonbreon, I wouldn't mind getting one too.
Right.
Just because that's like the most, that's the Charizard of today. That's the most modern chase.
Which it's so interesting how like certain Pokemon really low, but Umbreon is on so high right now. It's ridiculous.
I've had the opinion for a long time that Pokemon cards eventually they will go to no longer for the card, they'll go for the art. I don't think that it's super important to have a base set Charizard anymore. The hype of that, like, yes, it's always going to be an expensive card, but you and me, we grew up at the very end of the first era of Pokemon cards. Like, your and I's affliction for that base set stuff, I'm sure isn't as much as people who are a little bit older than us, like they care for it a little bit more. And the people who are getting into the hobby a couple years after us have even less affinity for it. And the people that are getting into the hobby now have even less affinity for it. All they know is it's an expensive card. They don't have any personal connection to trading it on the playground and seeing it and their little brother pulling it and their cousin pulling it. Like, they don't have any type of connection to it like that.
Right.
What they do have connections to are all of these beautiful full art cards that are coming out and these illustration rares that, I'm sorry, if I didn't know the value of it, I'm probably going to take the Slowpoke illustration rare over a Holo Charizard. Like, just genuinely because one's a full art and it looks beautiful, and the other one is a sparkly holographic lizard. Like, I love Charizard, but dude, it doesn't look.
Which
Let me do this here.
Okay,
There's a
okay.
prime example.
Yeah.
which 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 which
Here you go. This is the one card that I was just talking about. Like, dude, this Slowpoke right here. I'm not saying it's anything special, bro. There's just a Slowpoke chilling underneath a shack, but it's a beautiful cobblestone area, and there's the ocean behind it, and it tells a whole story where the Slowpoke's hiding and the Cyclizar bike. It's beautiful. Like, everything gets put so well together, and the cards that they're doing now, I think they've really done a great job with changing the hobby.
Yeah. And I think that's a good point because, I mean, if you think about it,
which
those Charizard cards, those old, like, holo base set cards, I mean, they're valuable because they're rare, but they're also valuable because they're vintage. And as
Which-
time goes on, the span of vintageness
which
grows. The sets that are considered vintage become bigger and bigger. And once we hit that threshold for these really cool full arts, then I think
They'll be vintage full arts too at some point. Yeah, exactly. Great, exactly.
it's
Great time to buy them.
Oh yeah, dude. I mean, now yes, but at the same time, it feels so expensive.
which
Pokemon cards once.
Oh, right. Yeah, it definitely has changed. Definitely has changed a lot.
which
You know, it's
Continue on. I'm just gonna put this.
okay. It's funny you bring up this Rayquaza because this is what I was gonna buy. Let me
which
this one. Yeah.
which
Whoa.
which
It was one of those art extenders for the Rayquaza.
Which-
That essentially, yeah, I think it was this one, but it had the PSA 10 Rayquaza. And I showed up to a card show with like basically my whole collection.
which
And I was a few milliseconds away from trading my whole collection for this
which
art slab with a rated slab within it. But then I realized that I wanted to have that shelf that's behind me right now of cards, so I didn't do it.
which
Gotcha. Give me a few of your favorite Pokemon. Let me see if I have a couple of them.
Okay. I think but of course Mudkip. Mudkip is like my GOAT starter, for me. And I've always loved Darkrai, and having that one Darkrai card. Really, any of the Gen 4 legendaries or mythicals, I think, are my favorites
which
for like that category of Pokemon.
which which
A Glaceon. Kind of a hot take.
which
Glaceon's legit. Glaceon's got really cool cards too.
Yeah.
Some really, really cool ones. Here. Let me show off my favorite duo and then show off this Glaceon real quick.
which
There you
which
Darkrai Cresselia. Really, really cool combo. This one comes from Crown Zenith, my favorite set.
Hell yeah.
Darkrai V-Star.
Yeah.
And this is a Cresselia, comes from Shrouded Fable, which was one of the lesser favorited sets.
which
Glaceon, this one comes from Crown Zenith as well. Very, very cool Glaceon V-Star.
That is a sick Glaceon.
which
Yeah, very, very nice.
Which-
Actually, if you do come through to one of my streams, I actually have this twice. I have a dupe of this card, so I'll save this one for the next time you come through one of my streams.
You know what's crazy is I have that card in a PSA 10. So
Never mind.
Give it to
Yeah, give it to someone else.
Yup.
Which-
Which so your collection is pretty huge, huh?
which
Yeah, I got a pretty big collection. I keep my singles outside of my
which
value tracker. of my collection because my singles move a lot. You know, there are a lot of modern singles. Sometimes they go up, sometimes they go down. And, you know, to me, as someone who's not only doing this as a hobby, but is using it as an investment, it's important to not be emotional with your investments and stuff like that. So I really, here, I'll show you this.
Which
I have all of my all my slabs and my sealed products are listed in like a value tracker where I can tap on into it, like this 151 ETB, and track.
Whatever.
Yeah, this is called the Collector app, actually.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, Collector app. So I use this to track all of my sealed stuff.
which
Yeah, you're
Which-
Well, we hit an hour easy. I have more questions, but honestly, I think we should keep it at an hour.
that's fine with me, bro. Let's do whatever. It's time. It's
Yeah.
time to play.
Yeah, but before that, for the sake of the YouTube video,
which
Oh,
what are
sorry.
your plans? Where's your future going? Where can people find you?
which
My plan going forward, I mean, I'd love to say that I continue to do this. Like, I want to continue to grow it and continue to grow other avenues. I have a creative muscle that I'd like to flex a little bit more. And that means bringing the shop and bringing the company onto YouTube and bringing it onto TikTok. And that's kind of my job and the role that I'm going to be playing more. On top of doing these live streams, continuing to entertain in other ways.
which
And you can always find me there at Midley Collects. I mean, I'm there at midnight Eastern Standard Time, 5 nights a week. You guys can find me there on the weekends as well, hanging out a little bit earlier too. So you guys
Which-
can always find me. I'm live there more often than I'm not. So would love to see you come through and grab a couple packs.
Always on the grind, bro. All right. Well, I really appreciate you coming through for this. It was actually this went very well, way better than I thought it would, to be honest, for the first go around.
Mhm.
Let's play some Peak, bro.
which
Let's play some Peak.